Kind of acting as a front for the speakeasy that was in the back. One of the original liquor licenses issued. Hey guys, we're in Greenwich Village and today we're going to go on another historic speakeasy tour. So I'm going to visit all spots that were speakeasies during Prohibition, serving alcohol of course. Be extra good. And remember, help support this channel by not only watching our video, giving it a thumbs up, but also please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And you can support us on Patreon, where you get bonus content and perks. Thanks guys, let's head off. Bistro on the corner of West 4th and Jane Street has been in business for nearly 60 years. And the building itself is pretty old. It dates back to 1827, 1828, and by the 1860s there was like an inn of some sorts, probably with a bar on the ground floor, and definitely during Prohibition it operated as a speakeasy. And what they did is they had a butcher shop like in the front area, kind of acting as a front for the speakeasy that was in the back. So you would go in there to, pretend that you were buying some meat at the local butcher, but in actuality you were buying, liquor. And it's a really cool restaurant now, and they're famous for their burgers, so we'll definitely have to feature them in a future episode. We photographed Corner Bistro at night for a book, New York Nights, and also interviewed the owner, Bill O'Donnell, and he told us what really put Corner Bistro on the map is when the restaurant critic, Mimi Sheridan, came in many years ago and she reviewed the place and she gave it a really, really glowing review for its burgers. Extra good. Beatrice Inn on West 12th Street by West 4th is an acclaimed restaurant owned by restaurateur Angie Marr. And back in the 1920s, that's when it operated as like an inn with a bar, and became a speakeasy during Prohibition. It stayed open entirely during Prohibition, serving alcohol, and later became an Italian restaurant before becoming a nightclub, and then eventually the restaurant that it is today. So it has a lot of great history. Tavern on Hudson Street at West 11th has been in business since 1880. It's definitely one of the oldest continuously operating bars in New York City. And it has a really interesting history because during Prohibition, it didn't even have to really be a speakeasy. I guess you could say it was a speakeasy, but it was more like business as usual here at White Horse Tavern. And when we photographed this bar for our book New York Nights, like we photographed a beautiful picture at night because the neon sign is like glowing at night, we interviewed the owner at the time, who was Eddie Brennan, and he told us that the reason that this bar was able to operate during Prohibition and not like soap up its windows or like pretend it was a flower shop or a butcher or something like that was because the mayor at the time was Jimmy Walker, and Jimmy Walker grew up down the street on Leroy Street and went to school right over here too at St. Veronica's, which was actually where Eddie Brennan's father also went to school. So this was like his watering hole. So he pretty much told everybody, leave this place alone, so they could just operate. So it was kind of like business as usual. Not really a speakeasy, but for the purposes of the video, we'll call it a speakeasy. And we mentioned in our previous video on the association with Bob Dylan, but what it is and what Whitehorse became famous for was that the poet Dylan Thomas, this was the last place he had a drink before he passed away. And they have like a little section inside dedicated to Dylan Thomas because, you know, he frequently had drinks here, as well as Bob Dylan, who listened to like Irish songs here and actually took his name Bob Dylan because of Dylan Thomas. Julius's bar on the corner of West 10th and Waverly is New York City's oldest gay bar, and in fact it's one of the city's oldest continuously operating bars. And the space, like the ground floor space, dates back to the 1840s, and by the 1860s it was operating as a bar, and during Prohibition it was a speakeasy. And in fact it had many multiple different entrances and exits, so in case it ever got raided by, you know, the police, then they could just, you know, leave or enter in a different entrance or exit. And the owner had told us that there was even a tunnel like in the basement that used to be used like when they built the building for coal delivery, that they also used as an escape route during like the Prohibition raids, and later was used for the gay bar raids. And it's beautiful interior. We highlighted in a previous video all about its interior and its struggle to survive during the coronavirus lockdown. They've just put outside seating, as you can see, which is really nice because for a long time they were closed and they've been struggling to survive. So check out the link. Casa Oliveira has been a liquor store since 1934. In fact, you can see it has one of the original liquor licenses issued by New York State. And it's located on 7th Avenue South by Grove Street. And the interesting thing about this liquor store is prior to its getting its liquor license, it actually operated as a speakeasy during Prohibition. It was owned by an Italian immigrant, Mr. Rosano, and he made his own moonshine in the basement and sold it. We thought that was really cool. We found it out from the owner when we interviewed him because we photographed this beautiful liquor store at night because it has a gorgeous neon sign. It's in our book, New York Nights, and the neon sign, this one, the long one, is not original. That was put in 1950 when it changed ownership to Casa Oliveira instead of Rosano Wines and Liquors. But the other one that sticks out from the building is their original signage from, like, I guess the 1940s. You know, the little overhanging one that says Wines and Liquors. We hoped you you enjoyed our walk through Greenwich Village to check out all the historic speakeasies. It was a lot of fun, extra good. We learned so many interesting facts and historical history, and it was a beautiful day. So thanks again for watching. Please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment to help us know where we should check out next. And if you want to further support our page, please check out our Patreon, where you can get bonus content and perks for supporting us. Thanks again. Bye guys.
Bye,
and
guys.
Be safe. You caught it.
Good boy.